You don't have to be famous to have a stalker. They exist in society towards any human, whether it be an abusive ex, someone you rejected, a micro celebrity with a decent following, or someone finding a disturbing fascination in you. No matter the reason, they all have the same dangerous tendencies that make the victim uncomfortable and unsafe. Do you like taking unsolicited pictures of people, especially during their private schedules? Do you like selling phone numbers, finding out people's flight information and selling them, or choosing seats right next to them? If you have any of those qualities listed above and are looking for a job, it should be very easy for you to find employment at SM Entertainment, or at the very least, you won't have to worry about any repercussions. SM has a big sasaeng problem, and this video is going to focus on NCT sasaengs. I have the most first-hand experience witnessing a lot of these crimes as they were exposed, but I will note that every group and every company has stalkers, and I hope that other companies are taking better care of protecting their idols from these incidents. Let's start with the first sasaeng I was forced to learn about. There was an insightful Twitter thread from Loki exposing Flight of the Moon 0/Mark_, and I'll be using that for reference. I will also leave the link to the thread in the description. For simplicity, I will just call her Moon, even though her name is made publicly available. Moon had a history of stalking Mark Lee of NCT 127 and Dream, and Yang Yang of Wavy. Stalking Mark began in 2015, when he was just 15. She had pictures of him pre-debut from practice, near his home, and even school events. Loki even shows proof that Moon admitted to talking to Mark's father. Moon complained often that Mark would not go home alone after school, and that he was accompanied by parents or managers to arrive safely back at his dorms, which are now known to more sasaengs thanks to Moon helping them find out where they were living. August 2015, Mark and other SM rookies went to a BoA concert that Moon was also in attendance of. When Mark noticed her, he tried continuing walking around before heading home, in hopes of tiring her out and causing her to lose interest, which did not end up happening. This delusional occurrence made Moon believe he did it on purpose to stay with her longer. Real batshit crazy stuff. Moon held grudges against other members that tried to protect Mark from her, and often badmouthed those members. Loki chose not to post Moon's personal account to avoid trouble, and in my assumption, to not give Moon any more clout like another incident we will get into in a couple of minutes. But those accounts is where she talked ill of Doyoung, Hichan, and shown dislike towards Jaemin and Jaehyun. The first time she was exposed as a sasaeng was in 2017, yet remained active until 2018. Around this time, Mark and My Heart _ was inactive. The new fan site, Flight of the Moon 0, has opened. This begins Moon's sasaeng adventures towards Yang Yang. There were suspicions to believe that Flight of the Moon 0 was Mark and My Heart _, but there was nothing on her until January of 2020. Loki finds the first piece of evidence exposing Moon as being both of these fan sites, as well as continuing to be a stalker. This is a picture of Moon sitting next to Yang Yang on a flight, and it is said that she ended up getting in a fight with the eldest, Kun from Wavy, delaying their departure. Loki does not go into detail of what happened on the flight, but leaves us information of Moon admitting to buying flight information with other sasaeng fan sites. She switched seats with the stalker that had bought a seat next to Yang Yang. After this, she sent a lot of hate towards Kun for what he did to protect Yang Yang. She began bad-mouthing him, harassing him through Bubble, sharing violent images, and finally attempting and winning a fan sign with Kun. Luckily, fans who saw her as a winner emailed the company organizers. She was blacklisted and banned from getting the chance to win a fan sign with that company again. Loki also confirmed an incident in February of 2021. She stalked Wavy on their undisclosed trip to Jeju Island, which is south of South Korea, and stalked Mark shopping in March of the same year. Her Mark fan site became fully inactive in June of 2021, but her Yang Yang fan site continues to this day. I debated blocking her user entirely, but using the information from Loki's thread would make it easily searchable, and the last thing I want is to drive curiosity and make people actively search for her. I urge no one to go and give her any attention. Blocking is ideal. She sells a lot of these private pictures which we have no way to report her on, so the least we can do is not fuel her psychotic tendencies and sharing her posted pictures. Each individual NCT member has a Google spreadsheet of dozens of confirmed sasaengs or suspicious fan sites. Most fans who don't even know these spreadsheets exist often misinterpret sasaengs as normal fan sites. Giving a quick glance at this unfortunately outdated sheet shows easily over 100 confirmed sasaengs and unconfirmed stalkers towards NCT. Renjin of NCT Dream has been on hiatus for a while this year and recently came to Bubble to expose accounts selling his phone number and other members. You can feel the pain and frustration in his messages, and you begin to feel with the same rage knowing that his company does not take the effort to protect him. It is unfortunate that members have to take matters into their own hands, and making an example of this sasaeng whose number Renjin leaked will hopefully deter more people from doing the same. Within an hour of him sharing the number of the stalker that was selling his number, it was disconnected and the account was suspended. SM has the capacity of taking these accounts down swiftly and without giving them attention, yet there are still dozens of accounts up selling the same information. A few days after recording this, Renjin had leaked another sasaeng's phone number, this time with a horrendous and completely undeserving consequence. The sasaeng whose number he leaked through Bubble went to the police station. Almost immediately following his leak, a prepared statement with English translation was posted to Twitter claiming to be the leaked number's friend. She claims that Renjun's phone number was saved in her phone under her friend's name, and she went to call her. She claims that she called the number asking, "Hi, is this X?" prompting Renjun to respond with, "I will report this number." It is a common tactic with Sasaengs to call idols numbers pretending to be food delivery, package delivery, or pretend they misdialed a friend's number. Her story was debunkable, yet lots of Korean netizens believed her story and began to villainize Renjun. Considering he has had this phone number long enough to have it sold to Sasaengs, how could the timeline line up to have it be your friend's previous phone number? Have you not talked to your friend in months? How coincidental is it that you just happened to accidentally save Renjun's phone contact as your friend's name? If that was your friend's number, why would you start the phone call with asking if it was her? Without a proper investigation from the police department, the Sasaeng could get away with playing victim and that their number was unfairly leaked. She claims to only call Renjun once, but an investigation could uncover if she deleted previous phone calls. It is also unlikely for Renjun to expose a phone number over one offense, but I'm sure he's not allowed to defend himself when she made this such a public incident, garnering empathy from Korean netizens who would believe a stick if it talked. Swiftly following this, SM Entertainment apologized to the alleged Sasaeng and had Renjun post a public apology on his Instagram. Renjun had many fans on Twitter and Instagram sending him messages saying it's not his fault and she doesn't deserve the apology. The Sasaeng thought that the public apology wasn't good enough and were still complaining on Twitter that they want a personal apology. SM Entertainment continues to choose to protect Sasaengs and their wallets over their idols, identically to an incident with EXO's Baekhyun nearly 6 years prior. Fans don't only sell phone numbers, but also flight information, dorm and hotel locations, and private schedules. Even public schedules put idols in danger. Airports have become entirely unsafe for idols who are publicly set to leave for international tours, and also harms citizens using the airport for their traveling. A Sasaeng of NCT Saechan was also accused of breaking into his family home, startling his parents and siblings. Yet no such thing was done to those Sasaengs. They could camp outside of their dorms, causing problems to all the residents living in the buildings, and nothing was done. Because of this plethora of Sasaengery, you don't often remember the names of prominent stalkers until they pull something like Moon or our next contender, Judy. Judy is an American sasaeng that came to fruition in 2019, following 127's first tour, Neo City: The Origin. Another thread written by They Fly Away, whom I will be referring to as Bling, will be my reference for Judy's actions. A deep dive of this thread was done by Duck on YouTube, which I will link alongside Bling's tweet. I encourage everyone to watch their video as well. Their content is based on exposing sasaengs, so I recommend checking them out for that type of content. It will not be my main focus of content after this video. Bling starts the thread by prefacing she stayed in a hotel room with Judy for one of the tour stops. Judy attempted to go to the airport to see 127 land, but when finding out it was too much of a hassle, she accepted Bling's invitation to go out. On their way out, Judy admits to knowing their flight information. She also mentioned her friend's Airbnb was in the same area that NCT was spotted meeting her fans, and her friend was going to search for them. Judy admits to skipping lines and changing seats at different stops, and Bling shows us how she jumped seats to the front of her Miami stop. The line she skipped was for a near-exclusive event, Bling mentioning around only 30 people would win spots to meet the boys. After 29 calls with no reserved spot, Judy was found inside alongside the other winners. She continuously lied about camping outside the studio as well, with text proof that she was not there at the time she alleged. This unfortunately only ends the Neo City: The Origin fiasco with her. Let's move up to 2023. I'm not too sure where the brain damage occurred to Judy between 2019 and 2023, but she has started to genuinely believe she is friends with NCT. She also brags that NCT fans love her and think of her and her friends as iconic for the photos and videos she has of the members. She came back to everyone's timeline in February of 2023. She was caught in the background of a YouTube video posted on the official NCT YouTube channel. Johnny Suh, member of 127, has a YouTube series called Johnny's Communication Center, and in this video, him, Yuta, Toyoung, and Mark were going sledding in Chicago. This schedule was not information given to the public, so it was clear she was informed of this happening from insider intel, or she tailed the car once the members left the hotel to film. Just because it was in a public area doesn't mean it was a public schedule. This continues to delude her into thinking she is friends with them, even though we can see how uncomfortable the members are in the video when she and her friends get close. Judy did not post any weird photos or videos again until she shared an old airport video of NCT Dream in July of 2023. She circulates her airport videos, specifically near Mark. She was dangerously close to them, walking nearly directly behind them. A few days later, she is seen at the airport following NCT's subunit Tojejang, which comprises of Doyoung, Jungwoo, and Jaehyun, again, dangerously close to them. She confuses their uncomfortable actions with being silly and laughing and waving at fans in attendance. She was front row at the Tojejang Comic-Con stage event, which you had to win tickets for. This is an assumption on my end, but she likely bought her way in with her mommy's money, which she admitted to doing so before. There was a select number of winners who were allowed to bring a +1. After the Tojejang event, she doesn't post photos again until August, which this time is of Mark, Chunla, and others playing basketball. This was quoted on one of her Curious Cat tweets, using it as evidence that NCT knows her. Her following tweet later that month is what sets off this part of her story, bringing her back into the limelight. Judy gets lots of curious cat messages, ranging from fans looking up to her to bashing her for stalking and attempting to humble her delusional stalking tendencies. She quotes a message asking her to share more quote-unquote cute stories of the members. This cute story in particular is her breaking into Jaehyun's hotel room, filming his bed and personal belongings in a rushed fashion. If you're friends with Jaehyun like you claim, why are you in a rush to film the hotel room he gave you a key for? It's almost as if you paid a hotel staff member for access to that room, but I digress. This event sends NCT into flames, reaching all the way to popular K-pop news outlets. Fans are rightfully demanding SM Entertainment to push legal action onto Judy for dumbassingly recording herself committing a crime 10 months before the post. Swift action came the next day, with SM Entertainment announcing that they will be pursuing a thorough investigation into this hotel incident. Judy doubles down on her actions and shows us that she has nothing to worry about because she will be using her student legal services from her college. It was quite a laughable tweet, claiming she would use the legal team against fans and SM Entertainment. Nothing much came of this incident, as she has gone seemingly unfazed on her Twitter and is back at the airport for NCT Dream hitting the States for Jingle Ball. She continues posting airport videos like she is part of the team, and even uncomfortably posts videos of following her around Mark. More old airport videos are posted, very close to Jaehyun and the other members. The last she posted was the old clip in February of this year, and has since not posted any stalker-type videos. Lucky for 127, but unlucky to normal fans, they have not been to America this year, and we haven't had to deal with any stalking from Judy. I fear for the upcoming events this year where NCT are heading to the States, such as KCON, and I hope that they are surrounded with plenty of security. To bring this brain-melting conversation to an end, I want this to be an eye-opener for fans unaware of what happens to idols both within Korea and abroad. Of course, not all staff members sell information about idols, and literal Sasaengs do not control SM. It may not even be staff members within SM Entertainment that they're getting a majority of their information from. But the chokehold that these Sasaengs have on SM is astronomical and deserves to be addressed. They can genuinely laugh in the faces of SM lawyers that do nothing to obtain justice for idols who are victims of these obsessive stalkers. These stalkers exist everywhere, and we need to push companies like SM harder into following through with legal action against people who put anyone in danger. Many instances, we see idols dismiss the case against the sasaeng, which must be put to an end. This only encourages behavior in the most dangerous types of stalkers, and this will lead to an idol getting seriously injured if these incidents are not handled legally in the near future. SM has proven that the Kwangya 119 was all for show and does not actually protect their artists. I urge a policy change before something horrible happens to an idol under their care.